Hello, we're here to talk about Army of Darkness, the last of the original Evil Dead trilogy. This is, I think this is my favorite film. Uh, Army of Darkness is my favorite Evil Dead film, bar none. Now I've seen all of them, except for the new one, I guess. We haven't seen the Evil Dead Rises because, as recording, I don't think this has come out. That's come out in cinemas. I think it's premiered at like one of the festivals, but is not officially out for the general public. But having seen this, it is my favorite. So Evil Dead films kind of go from full horror for the first Evil Dead, then it kind of the middle one, Evil Dead 2, is kind of horror comedy, and then I think Army of Darkness kind of then swings into pretty much a full comedy with, there's still little bits of horror in there, but it feels like it's more of a horror, more of a comedy. Sorry, it almost feels like, I feel like you can kind of see maybe the Monty Python stylings to it. I'm just like, this film feels. You can clearly tell they were like, we want to do a comedy, and it shows. So it picks up straight after Evil Dead 2. At least this time we don't have a weird kind of, they actually have the rights to Evil Dead 2, which is nice. They don't have to reshoot anything and cause decades of fucking confusion. Which is good. I don't like decades of confusion. Though Decades of Confusion was also my band in college. Yeah, like I said, this film is just so good. And Bruce Campbell is just so good as a comedic actor. He really gets to shine in this, just because he gets to be a kind of normal Ash in like the start and end of the film, of just like, it's Ash who works in a convenience store. You get Ash in like the fucking Middle Ages, just going nuts. You've got this kind of evil Ash, these little Ashes. You've got so many fucking dimensions to it, and it's just brilliant. Honestly, it's just brilliant. And I honestly can't say enough about this film, how much I love it. So yeah, this picks up after Evil Dead 2, where Ash was thrown into a portal and ended up in the Middle Ages. Middle Ages in England. Though there's a few of the kind of main actors who are British, and then the rest of the cast I think are American. It's just like a few of the main actors are like British, and you're like, okay. But it was not shot in Britain. So, me, I love my Star Trek. It was shot in Vasquez Rocks, so we're gonna see the Vasquez Rocks, and I'm like, yeah, because I'm a big Star Trek nerd. Just seeing that. Like I said, everyone thinks he's evil because they see this car, which the fucking Knights attack. Like, they think it's like some kind of giant armor. And yeah, they kind of lock up Ash with the was someone the red. They kind of believe that Ash is the kind of cause a lot of this upheaval and the kind of Deadites. And they throw him into a pit. Which he manages to survive. And obviously shows that he doesn't like the Deadites, as he kind of does some badass moves with a chainsaw and his shotgun. And it's just great. It's just, you get to see Ash you see Bruce Campbell just having like fucking time of his life, just doing some of this nutty stuff. I just love it. I love the film so much. And yeah, Ash is kind of at the start is kind of the reluctant hero. He's kind of just almost just doesn't want to be here. Like, well, obviously he don't want to be here because he's in the fucking Middle Ages, but he wants to get out, but is just kind of mostly doing it for himself. Killing the Deadites, trying to get the book, doesn't really give a shit. And eventually gets there. We get to see some battles with mini ashes, which come out of mirrors, and that whole fucking scene. It's almost like one of those scenes where it's just like so good, and then we get basically one of them goes into his mouth, and then kind of forms out of his body, and we get like this evil ash again, which we had in the previous one. We kind of like this mirror image, and that's kind of why he breaks the mirror almost immediately, because I think he's just like has that recollection of just like, fuck that shit, no, I'm not dealing with that again, and has to deal with it again, which is brilliant. And yeah, he chops him up and throws into a hole. But we get this whole new look to this evil Ash, where he's clearly in heavy makeup and like this armor and stuff, and it's like, well, that's obviously an easy cheat way of just like going, we can have someone who's not Bruce Campbell fight against Bruce Campbell, and it looks a little bit better, and we don't have to constantly have Bruce Campbell fighting himself, which is probably a lot harder to do than just having Bruce Campbell fight against someone else. And also, they do some close-ups with him, but yeah, obviously there's some ways where you're like, well, there's clearly a cheat way of just like, this saves a lot of time, because imagine if we had to have loads of big fights with Bruce Campbell versus Bruce Campbell. It would be difficult. Yeah, Ash just wants to go home, and eventually kind of helps out to fight against the Deadites. He helps kind of train everyone to fight them. And like I said, there's definitely still a little bit of horror in this, but it feels like it's, going more comedy. So much more comedy, and I can't say enough about this film. That, like, there's so much silliness to it. With like the fucking skeletons that are like stop motion and puppetry and stuff, and just like this is dumb. This is dumb as fuck. I'm fucking full on board for it. I'm full on board for this just utter silliness. I'm fully here. I love it. I fucking love this film so much, and it's just the best. Just like and yeah, they obviously they fight off the Deadites, which is like the whole like last third of the film, and it's huge battle scene and huge fights and Ash versus evil Ash, and it's honestly one of the best parts. And just can we just accept that this film is brilliant? Yeah, Ash kind of goes back to his life in Esmart, and is survives the day and kills some Deadites which show up, but everything is so a-okay. Kinda. I guess it kind of leaves it open-ended for a sequel, which I guess we'll cover in Ash versus Evil Dead, which is, I think I watched last year, so it'll be a quick one of rewatching it for me. I do like that show, and I will be covering every single episode because I'm a madman. That is what I do. I do mad things. I do mad shit. Hello, it is me, Brett. What am I doing with my life? That's Evil Dead. Army of Darkness. It doesn't have the Evil Dead license. It's some whole weird rights issues with Evil Dead. It's like, yeah, they couldn't have the rights for the Evil Dead for Evil Dead 2, so they had to reshoot stuff. Then Army of Darkness, they obviously have the rights to Evil Dead 2, but they don't use the name Evil Dead, which I feel like seems like another rights issue. And yeah, sometimes the box sets don't have Army of Darkness, but have Evil Dead 1 and 2 and Ash vs. Evil Dead, and I'm like, what? It's just all over the place, and obviously we don't get Ash in fucking Mortal Kombat 11, which would have been amazing. I'm still angry about that. Still angry. Fucking annoys me. He just wanted to be in Mortal Kombat. But yeah. Honestly, there's so many great moments to this film. And just Bruce Campbell is just brilliant in it. Let's be honest. He steals the show, and he gets so much to do in this film, and it just nails it, entirely. Yeah, I can't say anything bad about this film. I love this film so much. It is honestly one of, if not my favorite horror film, which is funny because it's not a horror film in some ways. It's very much a comedy. It's very much its own thing. But maybe that's why I like it, because it is very different. Yeah. And yeah, you can clearly see the influences of, Bruce Campbell is really good with slapsticks, kind of silly comedy. And you kind of tell the influences are like Monty Python style stuff. Just utter silliness shines through brilliantly. Yeah. Brilliant film. I can't say enough about it, and I'd watch it again and again and again. I love it. I love it. I would willingly watch it again and again. Yeah, I think that's enough from me for now. Like I said, the next step is we're going to be doing Evil Dead remake. Going to cover that, and then horror-wise, we're going to cover Ash vs. Evil Dead. And yes, I'll cover all 30 episodes, because I'm a madman. Hello, it is me, Brett, official madman. Oh, I can't wait, because I love it. Because I think there's going to be like a animated revival to that as well, so you look forward to that. But for now, I say live long and prosper, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video of Evil Dead.